class.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Uh, are you listening or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, in the previous class, there's a discussion on what are the units we are going to cover in this simulation techniques for electrical engineering. In the today's class, we'll have the introduction to the first unit, and we'll go into the unit and what are the basic things in the MATLAB, and how the MATLAB window will appear, what are the basic MATLAB layout, and what are the things are there in the MATLAB layout we are going to discuss today. Okay, let me start sharing this one. Hey, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. 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 Is there any disturbance? Is everything is fine?
So there's a lot of background noise from your side, but we can hear you. Sometimes it is disrupting what we are speaking.
Okay, 1 second. I'll close my door. 1 second. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. It is little better.
Yes. 1 second. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the first unit, that is basics of the MATLAB and MATLAB environment. Uh, in this session, we are going to cover about the MATLAB, advantage of the MATLAB, how to getting started with the MATLAB, system requirements, MATLAB environment. These are the things we are going to discuss. Uh, I have said already, it is the MATLAB means Matrix Laboratory. It is a Bible of computations. Means here it can have various types of matrices operations. Everything is performed in the form of the matrix operations only. Okay. Now uh, we know about the matrix operations. How we are going to understand the MATLAB, how it is going to get computations, we are going to see. Okay, that we are not going in depth of the MATLAB. We are going to see the what are the basics requirement in order to achieve some of the things. Okay, so who invented the MATLAB? That is Clive Moeller, a numerical analyst, wrote the first version of the MATLAB in the 1970. What is its objective? To perform the scientific computations and visualizations. This is a major objective. Whatever may be the research you are going to do, you have to make a proof. That proof is going to be accepted only because of the mathematical computations only. In order to make the research work easily, this MATLAB will be helping us a lot. Okay, that is the objective of the MATLAB, to make the scientific computations and visualizations. Means we are going to produce the proofs in the form of the visual as well as scientific calculations. Okay, this one it is going to do the purely numerical calculations only. It is only just like a anything, it follows one function definition or function equation. It is going to follow one equation. Okay, okay, what are the advantages of the MATLAB? It is having a very simple programming techniques. It is a very simple programming. If we know some of the commands what we have in the C language, it is going to have the same type of the commands, but it may be having some pros and cons. We have to check it out. Where which one is feasible in the MATLAB, which one is not feasible. Most of the things are feasible in the MATLAB. If it is not feasible, we can also make it feasible by having the our user-defined functions. By having the user-defined functions also. It is very flexible in data handling, so you can have very big bulk data. You bulk data, yeah, it is going to handle, but don't compare with the present big data. That is, the big data is again somewhat different. Okay, when I compare with the other softwares, MATLAB is going to handle very uh, big amount of the data when I compare with other softwares. But don't compare this big data. This big data, again, this one is going to be different. Okay, and powerful in the graphics. Here I have said already, you can plot 2D plots or 3D plots. These not only plots, it can be a pie charts, bar graph, anything we can able to represent, and you can have various flexibilities in this graphics where we cannot find in other softwares. And it has integrated development environment, that is Fortran, C and C++, availability of more built-in user-defined functions, means there are more built-in functions and user-defined functions. So we'll see, we should not, how to, when you are saving any user-defined function, it should not overlap with the built-in functions. When you are going to name it any variables or anything, it should not be a built-in function. So some of the things we have to take care when you are going to do in the MATLAB. And it is most accurate and reliable for high robust algorithm. So these are the major disadvantages of the MATLAB. Okay, coming to the MATLAB environment. Here in this MATLAB environment, we are going to have this screen is like this. Let me complete some of the amount of the PPT. Then we go for the MATLAB. I'll open the MATLAB and I'll show the what are the things going to be taken place in the different windows by having the live example. Okay. Now, are you able to follow me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Okay. In this MATLAB command window, this is the total MATLAB environment. Okay. In this MATLAB environment, this window is called the command window. What does the command window do? When I am going to give certain commands, it is going to be executed in the command window and it will generate the answer in the command window itself. Okay, suppose if you take this one here, enter the value of the frequency 15. Enter the value of the frequency. We have given 50. The variable it is assigned is f equal to 50. If you don't assign any variable, the default variable will be ans, answer. It is going to represent answer. Okay, default variable will be answer. Why? Because anything, if you are going to assign the values, it should be stored in some variables. If you are not going to assign any variable, it will be by default will be the answer. Okay, in command window, what it is going to do? It will execute the commands what you have given, and the answer will be displayed in the command window only. Okay, is it okay for you?
Sir, we are unable to see the command window here.
You are not. This is a command window.
No, sir, we are not able to see the interface of MATLAB. We are not able to see the MATLAB program. Like you are showing the PowerPoint by sharing your screen.
Yeah. Basically, I will complete some amount of the PPT. Then I will open the MATLAB software and I will show everything.
Oh, okay, sir. Right.
Okay. Right?
Yes, sir.
Initially, for understanding, in order to cover most of the points, I have made a PPT. After completing some amount of the PPT, I'll go to the MATLAB software. Then I'll show you. I'll exclude the programs also. Don't worry.
Oh, okay,
Small,
sir.
small.
We thought that because you are showing with the cursor on the screen about different types of windows and where we get the answer. So we thought you might be explaining.
I will explain clearly. Why? Because first in PPT I have mentioned most of the things. If I miss some of the points, you will be losing, right? That's why I am making one PPT. After that PPT, I will go to the MATLAB file and I will execute small mathematical operations. Is it
Okay,
clear?
sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now is it okay? Okay. Now here if you see here, one second. Daddy, Ramya, if you see here, there is a command prompt. This is a command prompt here. Whenever, if you want to write any program, you have to write the any assigning of the variables or whatever the function you want to have the definition. You have to write it the command prompt. Okay, this double arrow represents the command prompt. Okay, now
Sir, you muted.
to hear my voice now.
Yes, sir. Now we are able to hear.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is command prompt. I have discussed whether you have listened to this one command prompt. This
No,
is a
sir, we
command.
could not.
Okay. This is a command prompt where every function you have to write at this. When it is enabling only, you are able to write and it is able to execute. If this is not appearing, it will not execute. So whenever you want to assign the variable or if you want to have any function, you have to write the definition or any function or assigning a value to the variable after appearing this command prompt. This command prompt is a double arrow symbol. It's not double greater than. Okay. After appearing this one only, you are able to write the function or commands. Okay. In this environment, if you see here, this is an current folder or current directory. Here, this is a current directory. This is a workspace. This is command history. Okay, we'll go one by one clearly each and every part. Have you understood about the command window?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it? Yes. Okay. Uh, and one more thing, all of you give your attendance in the chat box. I forgot to tell you. All of you give your attendance in the chat box. Okay. Where, whether I know anybody waiting in the waiting room or they are going to join directly.
They are waiting in the room, it seems, sir.
How can I know? Around 35 people are there already. 10 more, but I don't find. I don't find anything here. Waiting room. Okay, no need to write present sir in the chat box. Just write your roll number. It's enough. Don't write present. Okay, just write roll number. Okay. I don't find anybody in the waiting room. Around 35 people are there here. If anybody ask you, any of your friend is asking to go for the waiting room, please inform me. Okay. Now, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir, but it is still the presentation only, right? You are in the
Yes,
Microsoft
okay.
PPT.
Okay, right. Thank you. In the command history, what are the commands you have done previously? It will be stored in the command history. So, what is a major advantage here is when you clearing the command window, even you are clearing the command window also, these what are the computations you have done, it will be stored in the command history. And if you want to execute the same command, if you double click on this command history, it will be doing the same operation here without typing once again. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Guys, are you listening or not? Okay. Now coming to the command history means it is nothing but what are the previous commands daily, what we will do numerous computations. we may be doing so many operations. This will be stored. Every command will be stored. Okay, that if you want to execute the same thing, just double click on this one, it will operate. You need not to type once again and do all the things. Okay, if you want to modify, then you just execute and modify, then it will be running. Okay, this is about the command history. I am coming to the workspace. If you are running any program, it is having some variables. That variables, you are going to assign some values. That values are stored in that variables. That memory is going to be placed. That memory is the workspace. That what are the variables you have, what are the values you are going to assign, it will be stored in the form of a matrix. That matrix is nothing having the some variables here. Okay, that is named with some other variables. It is going to be stored in the workspace. One thing we have to remember in the workspace, once you have executed the file, uh, it will be stored in the workspace. But when you have cleared all the command window and the workspace, it will not store. It will be get cleared. When you are clearing the workspace, it will not get remembered until unless you save the file. It will, you have to save the workspace also if it is required. If it is not required, no problem. But if you want to save the work, if you want to have the save it, you have to save it. The workspace should be saved. Then only all the values are going to get saved. By default, it will not save. Even if you save the program, uh, you can save the program, but workspace also should be saved separately. Then only it will get saved. If not, if you are executing another program, if you are using the same variables in the other program also, that variables are going to be overwritten in the workspace. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Uh, Means whenever you are executing any program, that function variables or data, whatever it is, it will be stored in the workspace. If you don't save the workspace, when other program is going to be run, if with the same variables, this workspace will be overwritten. Please be careful when you are going to use, when you want to save the workspace, please save the workspace, then only go for the next program. Okay. Coming to the current directory, why he is given the current directory? Because when you are going to use the current directory, uh, you no need to minimize the MATLAB window and go to that folder and open that folder every time. Why? Because it has given some path always. Just click on this one, it will be maybe C drive or D drive, whatever may be the file location. You can go from here and you can open that file. Sometimes it may not get opened. If it is not opening from this end, you have to minimize the MATLAB and you have to go there. But most of the times it will be open from here. Sometimes if our RAM size is not able to support, okay, if we have only some 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM, if you are doing lot of softwares are there in your laptop, games or softwares, whatever you have, it may not be working properly. At that time, you have to go to that folder and get open. Okay, is it clear? Have you understood about this current directory and workspace and command history?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now coming to the figure window. This figure window will be looking like this. Here you are going to have, you can change the file as per your wish. What are the different files you are available in the market, that is the picture files, it will be available in the MATLAB, and it will be having the MATLAB files also. We can store this file in the high resolution also. High resolution, and you can modify this axis. You can modify this axis. You can change the background of this color. You can change the style of this graph. You can modify this dotted line or some other triangles, or it may be lot of things are there. Depending upon your how you want to project your output, you can modify that one. You can add title and you can represent what is this this one. It may be VAB, VBC, VCA. If you want to write it this one, you can write it easily here. Okay, in normal softwares, this much flexibility is not going to be there. It is very flexible in the MATLAB. The figure window is very much useful to represent our output, which represents our output. You can utilize it very well. Okay, coming to some assigning the variables. How we are assigning the variables, values to the variables. In the first one, let me have some x equal to 5. Okay, we are assigning the value 5 to the x. Okay, then it is storing the value of x equal to 5. Then we are asking to store the value 6 to the y. So it is doing like this. Okay, let me show this one in the MATLAB. Are you able to see this one, MATLAB?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Not MATLAB. Are you able to see the MATLAB screen or this PPT screen?
Sir, PPT screen.
PPT screen only. Okay.
Yes, sir. On the slide, there is a photo of MATLAB, but it is in PPT, Microsoft PowerPoint only.
Okay. One minute. I stop share and I go for screen. If it is screen, now you are able to see the screen, MATLAB screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. This screen, are you able to see? This is a 5 power, 5 power of 1 by 2 less 1. Are you able to see this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Okay. If you want to clear the screen, means this is very I'm doing so many things are there in the command windows. I have made so many commands, so I want to clear the command window only, not workspace. I want to clear the command window. I'll type clc. If I type clc, it will clear the command window. If you want to clear the workspace also, I have to type clear all. Okay, clear all. It will be removing the workspace. Previously have some variable, here it is has been removed. See here, generally here this is a current folder or current directory. What are the things I have done previously? It will be stored in this current directory. Okay, here when you and this is workspace, this is command history. These are the various commands I have operated previously. So it is going to store, it is going to give the display when I have done it also. This is on 8/7/2020. I have done this operations during that time. It is showing that one. It is yesterday I have done some combination, some problems. It is showing. Okay, it is showing where when you have done all the computations previously, it will be stored. When you want to execute directly, if you click on double click on this one, it will execute the command. But be careful, where is the starting point, where is the ending point, you have to remember. Okay, then only you can use that one. Okay, and if this layout, if you are closing this one, suppose if you are closing this workspace, if you are closing this by mistake you have closed everything here, it has been closed like this. There is a layout option here. If you type here, if you there will be a pop-up coming out. If you click on this one, this is, you type it, you just click on to the default, then it will be all workspace, command history, all the environment you are able to see when you are typing the layout. If you are if you want to have some other shortcuts, you can make your own things here like this. You can keep this one, command history, current folder, workspace, panel titles, shortcuts tab, everything is, if it is you want to require something you don't want to require, you can change the environment also. Okay, let me go for sum a equal to sum 6. Okay, means here we are assigning a value 6 to the variable a. Okay, so what is happening here? This a, if I want to see what is stored in the workspace, it is showing the value 6. It is a single variable, single cell. That's why it is showing directly 6. If it is an array, see here, this is a double. Okay, it is stored in the form of a matrix. It is just like an Excel. If you see the Excel sheet, how it will be looking like that? It will be looking the same way. It is a matrix 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 5 by 5, 6 by 6. So it will be stored in the form of a matrix. This is size is a double. It is taken by default double. Okay, this variable A. If you are going to have another variable, it will be stored in the another way. It is having another matrix. Is it clear, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
okay. Now, if you are going to give some b equal to some, you give some other value. Okay. When you are giving the variable, it is going. When I am giving the variable, it is storing in this variable. If I keep 9, suppose if I keep 9 directly, if I have not assigned any variable, the default variable will be the answer. Okay, answer. Okay, if you want to do any other computations like a plus b, it is going to give the answer. You have not assigned any variable to the a plus b, so it is by default it is taking 14. So previously a answer equal to 9, now answer equal to 14. So what is happening here? Previous I have not, when I am using the same variable, same variable, it is overwriting. You check it here. It is overwriting your answer. Please be careful when you are writing. Don't use the same variable. You have to use a different variable for different functions. Okay, right? Just like any C language is also going to be the same thing. You have to use the different variables for different things. Okay. Now, this is a basic one. If you want to go for, suppose, pi. What is? How do you write the pi in MATLAB? Pi. Pi. It will give the value as 3.1416. And epsilon, EPS, epsilon, it will give the value as epsilon. You don't find any symbol for pi here, so you have to write it as pi. By default it will take it as 3.14 equivalent to pi. Okay, epsilon value also it will be like this. Suppose if I write a equal to 1 by 0, so what it is going to do? Infinite. Infinite it is going to be represented by INF. Okay, and some other mathematical which we take it as indeterminate functions. Suppose some x equal to 0 by 0. So what it is going to give? It is NaN. It is nothing but it is not a number, not a number. It is going to give the values like this. Okay, so this is the basics one. We'll go for step by step fashion. Is it okay for you?
Yes, sir. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then next we'll go for the PPT. Then we'll parallelly we'll do all the things. Okay. Okay. Now this is nothing but assigning the values, and you see in the command history the same thing what you have done. It will be stored in the command history. Okay. Now this is nothing but one more example. A equal to some x by y. Previously some x equal to 5, y equal to 6. So what it is going to do? 5 by 6. Okay, it is going to be 0.833. The same thing can be written in another fashion also. So we are writing 5 by 6. You can write 6 inverse into 5. Both are same, right?
Yes, sir. They're same.
6 inverse into 5. The same thing will be written here. B equal to some y. It is front slash. This is backslash. If you write the backslash, it is a division. If you write front slash, this represents y inverse into x. It will give you the same answer. That is the meaning here. When you are asking for b equal to y front slash x, it is equal to y inverse of y inverse into x. So when you are finding the inverse of a matrix, so most of the times we prefer to write in this fashion rather than in this fashion. Why? Because when you write a by b, the matrix may not be doing perfect computations. So we generally use the use this type of the functions rather than this type. Why? Because everything is done in the form of a matrix form. So please be careful when you are writing in the matrix inverse function. Better to use this one rather than this one. It is also going to give sometimes it may show some error when you are doing the matrices. Better to follow this notation rather than this one. Is it clear? Or
Yes,
you
sir.
can write inv of a, inv of y into x. You can write in that fashion also. Inv represents inverse of open brackets of what is a matrix variable. Okay, in that way you have to do it. Okay, we'll see, don't worry. This is what I have said already, that is pi epsilon. uh, and coming to square root of minus 1. Square root of minus 1, what do you write generally? I. Okay, it is also taking as I. 0 plus 1 I. It is showing like this. If you write phi I, it will accept this one. But when you write I phi, it doesn't accept. It is why? Because this I should be appeared later. It will not understand this one. I into phi. If you want to write I phi I asterisk phi, then only it will understand. If not, it will not understand. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Coming to the next one, this is what I have said. I phi, this is I into phi, then it is going to recognize. Even if you write j also, it is going to be the same. I or j, it is going to accept the same. Okay. Ah. I have said this one also. This is covered. Okay. This is another called format. Format means how many decimals after the decimal point, how many values, decimal values you are interested to have. If you are going to use the format short pi 3.1416, it is going to give. It is going to give up to 5 decimal points or 4 to 5 decimal points here. Format short. Okay. In the format long, if you give the value, it will give up to 15 digits. This 3.14159265 will be a 15 digit. After decimal point, it will be a 15 digits. Total 16 digits it is going to be. If you are not mentioning anything, by default it will take format short. Until unless you are specifying it is a format long, it is going to give the 15 digits. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, um, coming to format E. Another one is a format E. If I go for the format E, what it is going to do? It will take some 3 to 4 decimal points, and remaining value it will be given as e power of something, e power minus 5 or e power plus 5, whatever it is. It is after the decimal point. It will take 3 to 4 points, and it will give in power of e. Okay. For format short e, format short e, this is going to be displayed like this. Okay. If you type double also, the format double also, it is going to display in this fashion. There are so many commands there. We'll see the commands in step by step. But for some basic understanding, in order to understand the next point, I'm explaining some of the things here. Okay. Coming to the these are the basic things in the MATLAB. Okay. Coming to the basic data types in the MATLAB. Okay. We know already what is commonly used in C language. Data types is scalars, characters, float, point, integers. These are the things, right? In C language you have come across. But in every programming language, the specific ways of recognizing the different data types. MATLAB has a computing language is no different from them. MATLAB data handling is much easier than in other languages like C, Perl, and Java, etc. Okay. Here commonly used data types are this one: scalars, characters, arrays, strings, cell arrays, and structures. These are the various data types. Why? Because it always it may not be a number, always it may not be a string, always it may not be a character, or it may be a mixed also. How to address all those things? So because of that one, we are going for various data types here. Scalars are going to be taken in one fashion, characters are going to be taken in another fashion. We'll see in the step by step. Okay. Are you able to follow me or not?
Yes, sir. We are able to follow.
Okay, right. Scalars. Scalars means any number which can represent a quantity or measure is known as a scalar. This includes integers, complex numbers, and floating point numbers. Okay, these totally scalars are nothing but a numbers. These are all integers, complex numbers, floating point numbers. That is example. This is the what example. Any numbers we are going to have, we call it as a scalar. Single number is a scalar, not group of numbers. In group of numbers is again different. Only single value numbers we call it as a scalars. Coming to the characters, any single alphanumeric symbol enclosed in a single quote is a character constant. Means if you are writing anything in a single quotation A, this is nothing but a single character. If you write 5 it in a single quotation, it no more will act as a number, it will act as a character. Have you understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you are writing in single quotation, whatever you write, even it is a number, it will be converted into the character. Even the symbol is also converted into the character. Okay, please be careful when you are handling these type of the things. Okay, here 5 and 5 are different data. First one is a character constant, later is a numerical constant. Okay, now these are about the scalars and characters. Now coming to the arrays. An array is a list of similar data in a single row or column. Similar data, generally arrays will be a numerical values or characters or strings. Okay, this one arrays will be a single row, similar in a single row or data. The elements of an array can be all numeric or characteristics, but they cannot be mixed up. That is, in arrays you cannot mix the numerics and characters. It can be either numerical or it may be a character or it may be a string. Please be careful here when you are dealing with the arrays. Here they cannot be mixed up. This is very important point. It cannot be mixed up. That is, an array cannot have numbers as well as strings as its elements. Okay, however, an array can be an element of large of similar type. Okay, similar type you can allow in arrays. Okay, we can have arrays of arrays known as multi-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional arrays. Generally, multi-dimensional arrays means arrays of arrays. Means it is a parallelly one matrix is there. That matrix another parallel another matrix is there. We call it as multi-dimensional array. Okay, we will see multi-dimensional array in the later part. Okay. What is multi-dimensional array, how we are going to address the multi-dimensional arrays also, we'll see. Okay, an array in the two dimension is known as a matrix. Okay, an array is written using square brackets enclosing its elements separated by commas or spaces. If you check here, this is one you are going to have 2, 6, 34. So if you write this one, what it is going to do, it is a column matrix. It is a column matrix. When you write comma here, it will, this 6 is going to enter into the next column. If you write comma here, 34 will be entering into the next column. Okay, so this is a column matrix. If you want to add in the same row, you have to give the space instead of comma. If you give the space, it will be taken as row matrix in that common row. If you divide, if you give the comma here, it will be separated. Okay, here if you check here, this is a this is one array. If you take another array, both should be having the only character strings or characters only here. If you should not mix these two things. In arrays, it is not possible to mix those things. Why? Because if you are closing with the square brackets, it will take it as an array. In array, please be careful here when you are mixing up of numbers and characters, it will not accept. It will show an error. Okay, this is a way to represent the arrays. Coming to the strings.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question about arrays. Can you please go back to the previous slide once?
Tell me.
Sir, here in the third example of arrays, you have given 2, 5, 6, and then again within square brackets you have 4, 8, 12, and 7. So
yes.
Is it like one array inside another array?
Yes, yes, yes.
But along with that array, okay. Sir, but along,
tell me. Sorry,
sir, but along with this array, there are 2, 5, and 6. There are only numeric constants, right? Others 4, 8, 12, and 7 is an array in itself, whereas 2, 5, and 6 are numerics. So how is it possible?
This is these are all numerical values. These are all numerical values. So it will be accepting.
Oh, okay. It will not see numerics and array as different data types that time.
Within a array, we are having the numerical values.
Oh, okay. If that array has characters, then it is not allowed.
If it is an array, if you are going to have the characters, it will show an error.
Okay, sir. Yes, I
Ah.
understood.
Clear?
Yes,
Tell me.
sir. Thank you.
The same example, are they taken as rows and columns? How are they taken, sir?
I'll show that one. Don't worry. In coming coming examples, in MATLAB I'll show how to write rows and columns. Don't worry. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll show examples. Neatly I'll explain all the things. Don't worry about it. You understand what is meant by arrays only here. Later part we'll see. Okay. Can I go for the next point?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Okay, coming to the strings. Okay, any two or more alphanumeric symbols enclosed in a single code is a string data. Okay, when you are saying the strings, it is within the array. We are going to have the strings. Okay, that strings, how we are going to have that string? Here it may be a string is an array of characters. It is an array of characters. If it is a single quotation, it is a single character. If you want to have multiple characters in a single quotation, we call it as a string. Have you got it or not?
Yes, sir.
All are strings. These are all are strings. Strings are basically the arrays are array of characters as A, B, C, D, E is equivalent to A, B, C, D, E, which is the way the string is stored in the memory. The strings written within a single quote are known as a string constant. These are string constant. MATLAB never uses double quote to write a character of string constants. Okay, we never use a double quotations here. It is nothing but just a group of characters. We call it as a string. Okay, instead of writing like this, if you are writing like this, it is going to take it as same. Don't get confused. Both are same. What you want to say. Okay. Now, this is about the strings. Coming to the cell arrays. Cell array is a special type of an array where the elements can be of different data types. Okay, they are distinguished from the simple arrays by using the braces instead of the square bracket for enclosing the elements. This is nothing but a cell array. Means it is a mixture of values, mixture of numericals, characters, strings. Both we are going to have. Here, if I am using a square bracket here, it will recognize as array. If you write in a flower bracket or braces bracket, it is taken as cell array. This cell array will accept numericals as well as characters or strings. Whereas in arrays, if you write the square brackets, it will show an error. Have you got the difference or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. This facilitates to store related data in a variable name. Cell array is known as a higher data types as they are formed from the basic data types such as scalars, arrays, etc. Okay. Coming to the structures. This structure is also a storage of different things. Let us see here. A structure is also a different data type to store the various related data types using meaningful field names. Okay, they are written in the form of the name, value, combination using the word struct. Okay, here using the command called struct in order to represent the structures. Here, if you say struct city Hyderabad, distance from Nalgonda, some 45 location or a road, it is if you are giving it as a structure here. It is written in open brackets. Please remember, it is structure. It is an open brackets. For cell arrays, it is a flower bracket. If it is only arrays, it is a square bracket. Okay, these are the things we should remember more. This a major point is this one. And writing in the single quotation, when it is a group of strings, it should be written in the single quotation. This indicates that the name of the city is Hyderabad. its distance to Nalgonda is 45 kilometers and its location is along the water road. So means you want to create a structure like this. Okay, if you want to mainly it focus in order to make the understand the city Hyderabad distance from Nalgonda. By making this one, you can understand easily. Okay, here the meaning of the data is more clear than in case of the cell arrays for the same set of the data. Okay, means if you want to mix up all the things and if you want to have larger data type, when we go for the structures also we have some other advantages. When we go in detail with the structures, we will discuss that. Don't worry about that one. Structures we will see one more time. We will come across structures one more time. We will discuss that one. Okay, means you please remember here in the structure you have to use the open brackets. You are going to write the things what you want to explain it clearly here. Okay, means if you want to write some sentences or if you want to give the information and if you want to address also there is some different things are there. We will see them. If you want to have this city location, this Hyderabad location, where it is stored, how to address, how to recall that one. These things we are going to have. Okay. This is what about structures. These are the various data types in the MATLAB. Please remember this is a generally a 5 marks question or maybe a 3 marks question in your external examination or mid examinations. You should be able to explain the differences between each and every data type with an example. Then it will be able to score good marks. Okay, can I go for the next point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the variables. How to name the variables? Here naming is very important. Why? Because everything what you are going to assign a variable, it should be named. That name, how you are naming? Why? Because if you are wrongly named, it will not take it. It may be showing always an errors. So in order to avoid that errors, you should have to follow some of the important basic rules here in naming the variable. The variable name in the MATLAB must start with a letter and can be end up to 31 characters long. Please remember, you should not start a name with a numerical number. It should be always with the characters, and it can be any after first single letter. You can be any character, and it should be having some rules. Let us see that one. That it can go up to 31 characters. Means you can see how many what is the accuracy levels of the MATLAB. You can go for 31 string, 31 characters long string for naming a single variable. You can see how many different variables you can assign, how many combinations, how many permutations are there in order to assigning the variable. Okay, so the trailing characters can be numbers, letters, or underscores. Okay, it can be means first letter should be a character. Later on, it can be a number, it can be a letter or underscores. Some other characters are also available, but in the text, as I will stick to this only. Some of the things are there, but if you are going to use some dollar symbol or some other asterisk symbol or some other symbols, sometimes it may be having the user defined functions. So better to avoid those things in this. Better to stick on to this one only in order to have the error free solutions. Okay, use only this type of things. Why? Because these only we have various combinations are there. No need to go for that one. I can go for the character and a number, single character. It may be a group of characters and a number. It can be many things else. So there are various lot combinations are available. So don't go for those things. Sometimes it may have also user defined functions. So better he is saying not to go for that one. Even something is available, but better to avoid that one. The rules of for naming the variables also hold for naming the MATLAB files. So it is the same rule for the saving the MATLAB file also. You have to save with a character and some other 31 string. Okay, whatever it is. It may be a combination of numbers and characters. Okay, but it is allowed after the saving the name. Only one dot is allowed within the name in the file. Everything after the dot is used to tell the MATLAB type of the file. It is .mdl file is a if you after keeping the dot, it is a model file or script file, or it may be a function file, or it may be some other file. Okay, so after dot it is a MATLAB file. It is going to recognize. So in between the, when you are naming, don't use any other dot. Okay, better to avoid the dot. You cannot use a dot. Okay, after the dot, it may be a MATLAB file only. It may be a model file, or it may be a script file, or it may be some other file. Okay, so this is a MATLAB file. It may be a figure file also. Okay, and where these MATLAB variables are case sensitive, means small a and capital A are two different names. Okay, two different names, two different characters. So it will not recognize both same. So you can name it by using the small a as well as capital A. Okay, have you understood? This is a generally 2 marks question. Generally appears in the exam. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. Now, coming for it is a good programming practice to employ the meaningful names. In our initial examples, we have only used very simple but appropriate names. However, as the example becomes more complex, our variable names will be more informative. Means when you are naming any files, it should be more informative. By seeing that variable, we are able to recognize that one. Okay, this is a perfect suitable name for this. Okay, this variable is defining that one. This is variable defining that one. It should be, we have to give the names in such a fashion that one, it should represent some understanding. So it will be easily understandable program will be developed. Okay. Variable names should not coincide with the predefined MATLAB command or with the user defined subroutines. I already said you should not give the name which is already predefined functions. So when it is a predefined command is there already, we can understand. Addition, you cannot give the addition as a variable name. Subtraction, you cannot give. Multiplication, like that. You cannot give the voltage source. It is already the inbuilt function will be there. Current source, you should not give. You can give Vs, supply voltage, capital V, small s, you give like that. Current source, Is. Ammeter you should not give. Why? Because it is already user defined function will be there. Inbuilt function will be there. Ammeter, voltmeter, wattmeter. You should not give like that one. Names you should not give that one. Sources also you should not give that one. Okay. Resistor, inductor, capacitor. It is a default variable. So default names will be always there in the MATLAB inbuilt functions. You should not give those names again. Okay. You should give the name in normal way. Apart from the technical point of view, use the general names. Okay, but in a meaningful fashion, it is a combination of that one. Resistor 1, you can give that one. Sometimes R1, R2, you can give, better to give the capital R1, capital R1. You give some RR1, something very different name which we don't use regularly. Okay, you have to give that in this file. Then only it will take it. If you give the predefined one, it will overlap and it will give the random result. Sometimes most of the times it will give the error. Okay, this is what we have to remember. Okay, this is a determine the values of the expression a into b plus c into c plus d into a. This is for a equal to 2, b equal to 3, c equal to -4 and d equal to -3. So how I have to write in the MATLAB command here? First of all, you have to assign the values here. Here he is asking to find the determine the expression. Means for this I have to find the value of this expression for these values. So what you have to do? First you have to assign the values here. A equal to 2, b equal to 3, c equal to -4, d equal to -3. So how to write this expression? This is a. If MATLAB doesn't understand if you write directly a into open bracket. So you have to give the multiplication symbol. If you don't give the multiplication symbol, it will never understand. Okay, let me verify this one. Let me verify this one. See here, what is the value? A equal to 2, b equal to 3, c equal to -4. A equal to 3, b equal to -4. What it is? A equal to 2. Okay. Sorry. A equal to 2. Please. 2 equal to 3. So if I want to suppress the output also, there is, if you use a semicolon here, you can suppress the output. No, it will not display, but it will be stored in the B. Okay. A equal to 2, B equal to 3, C equal to -4, -4, uh, D equal to -3, D equal to -3. Okay, so these are the things we have assigned. In order to write the expression here, suppose if I write, just I will copy this one, okay, this one also it is going to accept this one, copy paste. Okay, if I am giving this one, what it is going to show, check here, unexpected MATLAB expression here, it is not going to recognize. If you want to uh, recollect the same data, use up arrow mark, so it will give the same thing. But what are the things I have to do here, modification here, A into, I have to use the hashtag here, A into, okay, C into, okay, for C plus D this is okay, but into A. So if I use this symbol, use perfectly the math operations, then you will get the answer. I have not given any variable, so it is taking the variable as 124. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Are you able to follow this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One second. Now, coming to the next point. Now, all of you try to get these answers. Very simple, right? What the MATLAB will give, what you are going to get, check it here. If I evaluate the MATLAB expressions for this one, how I have to write this one? Please tell me. You can write in the chat box. I'll check in the chat box. How I have to write the first one, how I have to write the second one, how? Please. I'll check in the chat box. You want me to show the screen? Please note down, and how we have to write in the MATLAB. How the MATLAB will understand, so that I will get the final expression. Okay, you want me to send this one screen? You will do it? I have not seen any answers. Okay, are you facing any? Have you understood the question or not? Guys, please respond.
Yes, sir. We understood the questions, but everyone giving the answers.
Okay, but I'm not seeing the chat box answers. That's what I'm getting confused. Okay, and Naman Gupta has given 1 plus 2. I think Kavya has given correct answer. 1 plus 3 into 2, 4. Okay, Karthik, you have given in a very different way. Okay, 2 by 3 into 4. Okay, Karthik is also correct. Okay, only 3 people, Kavya, Naman Gupta and Karthik. Okay. Everybody are giving attendance. They are busy in giving the attendance. Okay, his time is up.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just take for 5 more minutes. I'll close the session. Okay. What about the second one? What was the second one? 1 by 2 by 3 by 4. How we have to give it to the in the okay. I show these answers. You please check these answers now. It will be written as like this. Now it will be taken as like this. If you give the expression like this, 1 plus 2 by 3 by 4, 1 plus 2 by 3 into 4 minus 5, it will give these answers. So you have to generate like this. 1 by 2 by 1 by 2, you have to give this way. Then only it will give the answers correctly. Okay. Here I have to use the asterisk. Sorry, here I have to use the asterisk here. Okay. There's a way you are going to check it out. Okay. I think today it is enough for today. In the next class, we'll go for the relational operators and logical operators in the next class. Okay. I'll share some of the material for you. 1 or 2 textbooks. I'm sorting out the textbooks. The problem here is I have taken from so many textbooks. I want to give only 1 or 2. Why? Because people may get confused. Which one to read, which one not to read. Just I'm sorting out which one is better one. Then I'll give you 1 textbook. It will be easy for you. 1 or 2 textbooks. It will be easy for you to understand. Okay. All of you post your attendance. Is the session is okay, or I'm going slowly or fast? What do you say, guys?
No, sir, it is going at a comfortable pace.
Comfortable pace.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir, comfortable pace.
Okay. Right. If it is okay, I'll go with the same pace only in the coming classes.
Yes,
Sai
sir,
Kumar?
this is fine.
Okay. This is fine. Okay. Sai Kumar, Priyanka, Aditya. Is it okay for everyone? Gasarna, are you there? Sai Kumar, is it okay?
Sir, give some time to writing.
I'm not. Your voice is not clear, Aditya. Aditya? Aditya?
Sides give the
Sides?